the Catholic world was on the edge of its seat, eagerly waiting for what was about to happen. You could feel the excitement in the air as millions of devoted followers from all over the world turned their attention to the Vatican. It was like everyone was holding their breath, waiting for a big announcement that could change everything. A new era was about to begin, and the first rays of sunlight seemed to signal a fresh start, casting a warm glow over the historic walls of St. Peter's Basilica. It felt like even nature was in tune with this huge moment that was set to unfold on February 11th, 2020. So please subscribe. The channel that day would go down in history, forever remembered in the Church's story as a key turning point that would echo through the ages. News outlets everywhere were buzzing with the headline, "A new Pope has been elected." Luis Antonio Tagle made history as the first Asian Pope. His election wasn't just a win for him, it was a huge win for millions who saw their own hopes and dreams reflected in him. As he waved from the balcony, his calm smile sent a message of togetherness and acceptance. This was a huge deal. The crowd went wild, celebrating joyfully. Cheers filled the historic square as people danced, sang, and hugged, all caught up in the happiness of the moment. It was pure, unfiltered joy. It marked a shift in the Church's focus, showing that it truly embraced diversity and recognized the growing importance of the Asian continent. It was a nod to the lively faith communities that had always been part of the Church's global family. Now, the papacy was in the hands of someone from the East. Pope Tagle brought a rich mix of cultural heritage to the Vatican, blending the ancient traditions of the East with the timeless rituals of the Church. His leadership was set to bridge gaps and foster understanding between different worlds. People celebrated this historic moment everywhere, from the lively streets of Manila to the peaceful temples of Kyoto, from the towering skyscrapers of Shanghai to the beautiful beaches of Bali. Landmarks around the globe lit up in a stunning show of unity and hope. For the first time, a son of Asia was taking the throne of Peter, and it filled the Asian community with pride. They saw in Pope Tagle a symbol of their potential and dreams. His journey to the papacy was proof of the strength of faith and perseverance. This was a clear sign of the Church's universality. Pope Tagle's election highlighted the Church's commitment to inclusivity and its recognition of the diverse tapestry of its followers. It was a strong reminder that the Church is truly for everyone. This is for everyone, no matter where you're from or what race you are. It was a hopeful moment for Asia, the largest continent in the world. Pope Tagle's election felt like a bright light, showing that people's voices would finally be heard and their contributions appreciated. It inspired so many young folks to dream big and believe that change is possible. Pope Tagle was all about bringing in a new era of kindness, understanding, and unity. When he greeted the crowd, it reminded everyone that the Church is like a guiding light, helping folks move towards a brighter and more inclusive future. St. Peter's Square was packed with people. Millions came out to see the inauguration, and you could feel the excitement in the air. The ceremony was a grand show, full of solemn joy. The Mass was celebrated with respect and happiness. When the pallium was conferred, it was a special moment, and the fisherman's ring was placed on Pope Tagle's finger, marking the start of his papacy. Luis Antonio Tagle was born in the Philippines and was known for being humble and smart. He studied theology and philosophy, climbed the church ranks, and served as Archbishop of Manila, earning respect for his compassion. Pope Tagle was also the president of Caritas International, an organization that helps the poor and marginalized. He was a true voice for those who often go unheard and worked hard for social justice, gaining global recognition for his efforts. When news of Tagle's election broke, celebrations erupted all across Asia. People danced in the streets and sang songs of joy. It was a moment of immense pride to have an Asian as the leader of the Catholic Church. In the Philippines, his homeland, people celebrated with joy, church bells ringing everywhere, and crowds flocking to cathedrals to offer prayers of thanks. This was a new chapter for Catholicism in Asia. But Pope Tagle faced some big challenges. The Church was dealing with rising secularism, internal divisions, and ongoing issues like poverty and injustice. Climate change was also a huge threat. He understood the weight of these challenges, especially with rising religious persecution, which he had seen firsthand through his work with Caritas. He was determined to be a voice for those who are persecuted and promised to work towards peace and understanding. Pope Tagle had a vision for a united and inclusive church. He wanted it to be a space where everyone from all walks of life could come together, share their stories, and learn from each other. His idea of unity wasn't just about faith, but also about creating a sense of global community. He often talked about how divisions within Christianity were a major hurdle, and he worked hard to bridge those gaps, encouraging dialogue and teamwork among different Christian groups. His goal was to create a more united Christian community that could tackle global issues together. He also believed in the importance of talking with people from other faiths to foster understanding and respect, which he saw as essential for global peace. He participated in many interfaith meetings, engaging in meaningful conversations with leaders from various religions to break down barriers and build mutual respect. Listening was a big part of his approach. He often said that listening was the first step to understanding and empathy. He made sure to hear the stories and experiences of people from different backgrounds, which helped him grasp their struggles and aspirations better. He wanted to create connections between people of all cultures and religions, believing that these connections were crucial for building global unity and cooperation. Pope Tagle also emphasized inclusivity. He wanted the Church to be a welcoming place for everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. He pushed for policies and practices that promoted inclusivity, ensuring everyone felt valued and respected within the church community. He envisioned the church as a home for all, a sanctuary, not just a place of worship, where people could find comfort, support, and a sense of belonging. He worked hard to create a space where everyone felt at home, no matter their background, social status, or personal situations. He wasn't afraid to speak up against discrimination and prejudice. Tagle was a passionate advocate for social justice and equality, condemning all kinds of discrimination and pushing for a fairer society. His speeches and actions aimed to raise awareness about discrimination and inspire people to stand up against injustice. He envisioned a church that welcomed everyone, especially those who felt marginalized. Tagle believed that a church's true worth was shown in how it treated its most vulnerable members. He pushed for initiatives that supported the marginalized and underprivileged, making sure they felt included and valued in the church community. His dream was for the church to be a beacon of hope and support for those in need. The power of dialogue was part of his legacy. Pope Tagle was known for his warmth and eloquence. He had a gift for connecting with people from all walks of life and used his platform to promote peace and understanding. Pope Tagle was a firm believer in the power of conversation. He engaged with world leaders and spoke out against injustice, calling for a more compassionate and fair world. In his first address, Pope Tagle spoke about hope, urging everyone to renew their faith and embrace love and compassion. His message resonated around the world, offering a vision for a better future. He inspired millions with his humility and deep faith, dedicating himself to serving others like a true shepherd. The inauguration of Pope Tagle marked a fresh chapter in the history of the Catholic Church. As the first Asian pope, his ascent was a big deal, symbolizing a shift toward greater inclusivity and representation in the Church. The ceremony drew thousands, with millions tuning in globally to witness this historic moment. The Church now had a leader from Asia, a region with a growing Catholic community. This was significant not just for the Church, but for everyone. Pope Tagle's background and experiences brought a new perspective to the papacy, one that connected with people from different cultures and nations. In his first address as Pope, he passionately talked about the need for compassion, understanding, and solidarity among all people. His words became a beacon of hope, especially for those who felt forgotten or left out. His papacy promised to be transformative. Renowned for his progressive perspectives and unwavering dedication to social justice, Pope Tagle set out with a bold vision to confront some of the most urgent challenges facing humanity today, including the pervasive issues of poverty, inequality, and the escalating crisis of climate change. His mission was not just to address these concerns superficially, but to delve deep into their roots, advocating for systemic change that would uplift the marginalized and give a voice to the voiceless. Pope Tagle aspired to cultivate a more inclusive and compassionate church, one that did not merely preach the teachings of Christ, but actively lived them out in every aspect of its outreach and engagement with the world. He envisioned a faith community that embraced diversity, welcomed the disenfranchised, and stood firmly against injustice in all its forms. As he embarked on this transformative journey, the eyes of the world were firmly fixed upon him. News outlets from around the globe eagerly reported on his every move, analyzing his speeches and initiatives with great anticipation. Many people, both within and outside of the Catholic Church, held a glimmer of hope that Pope Tagle could indeed be the catalyst for the profound change that was so desperately needed in society. With his appointment, it felt as though a new dawn had arrived, one filled with promise and the potential for a brighter, more equitable future. The global community watched closely, hoping that under his leadership, the Church would not only adapt to the challenges of the modern world, but would also become a beacon of hope and transformation for all of humanity. The symbolism of a new day was not something that went unnoticed by anyone in the community. It represented a profound opportunity for renewal, a fresh start filled with boundless possibilities, and a chance to construct a brighter future for the Church and its devoted followers. This moment was imbued with hope and anticipation, as the dawn of a new era beckoned everyone to embrace the changes that lay ahead. From the very beginning of his papacy, Pope Tagle demonstrated an unwavering commitment to both his faith and the people he was called to serve. His approach was characterized by a genuine humility that resonated deeply with those around him. This humility was not merely a facade, it was a reflection of his true character, which naturally endeared him to many. Through his thoughtful actions and compassionate demeanor, Pope Tagle communicated his dedication to fostering positive change and making a meaningful impact on the lives of others. As he embarked on this noble journey, the Pope's kindness became a beacon of light for those who were struggling or lost. His willingness to listen and to understand the needs of his congregation made him a beloved figure among his followers. The essence of his leadership lay in his ability to inspire hope and encourage a sense of community, reminding everyone that together they could forge a path toward a more promising future. In every gesture, every word, and every decision, Pope Tagle's commitment to uplifting the Church and its members was evident, marking the beginning of a transformative chapter for all involved. It was a profound moment in history, a time dedicated to healing and renewal. Pope Tagle, with his deep understanding of the human experience, recognized the immense pain and suffering that many individuals were grappling with during this challenging period. He made it his utmost priority to offer comfort and support to those in distress, reaching out with open arms and a compassionate heart. His empathetic approach served as a balm for the wounded souls, helping to mend the broken hearts that had been shattered by despair and disillusionment. Through his gentle guidance and reassuring presence, he was able to restore faith in the Church, reminding people of the enduring power of love and community in the face of adversity. In a world that often seemed shrouded in darkness, Pope Tagle's message of hope radiated like a beacon, illuminating the path forward. He inspired individuals to believe in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow, urging them to come together in unity and work collaboratively towards a common goal. His words resonated deeply, encouraging people to cast aside their fears and doubts and instead embrace the potential for positive change. This was not merely a time for reflection, but a call to action, a reminder that even in the bleakest of circumstances, hope could flourish. With his unwavering commitment to healing and his vision for a better future, Pope Tagle instilled a sense of purpose and determination in the hearts of many, igniting a collective spirit that sought to transform their world for the better. Under Pope Tagle's leadership, the Church began a journey of transformation and renewal. His papacy stood as a testament to the power of faith, hope, and love, inspiring countless people around the world to strive for a more just and compassionate world. Please subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos and intriguing content.